Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelli, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelli.
We're going to do a little recap of the Valley and Summerhouse because we haven't really talked about either one yet this season. Just going to talk about it in broad terms.
Yeah, and then we'll focus on the latest episodes.
Yeah.
So I guess the biggest thing with the Valley is that obviously Brittany and Jax are separated. I mean, Michelle and Jesse are also, but Jax, very early on, I think it's the second episode, he announces that he has a cocaine addiction and he's going to go into treatment, and he cannot get past the fact that Brittany was seeing one of his friends, and I say that in quotes because it depends on who you ask, if the guy was breaking bro code by dating Brittany. Honestly, it does kind of seem like it to me. If you were hanging out in this group of friends, I feel like, whatever your feelings are of Jax, you probably shouldn't have crossed that. But I don't know.
They were separated at the time.
Yeah.
And Jax was seeing other people. Unlike Schwartz and Katie, they didn't have the rule, nobody in our friend group. The rule that they had was not in our marital home, which we know Jax broke that
He
rule.
totally broke that.
So, and she did not.
Right.
What's that guy's name? I forget his name. Do you remember his name?
Let me see if I can find it in my notes that I was supposed to.
So the interesting thing about this guy, whose name you're looking up, is you probably didn't watch this, but on the after show.
I did not.
So the Valley after show, what I really like about the Valley after show is we get Lala on the Valley after show, and we haven't even really seen her. And we get Sheena on the Valley after show.
I heard Sheena was on the after show.
And Schwartz. We get Schwartz on the Valley after show too. And we haven't really seen them on the Valley yet. So Lala knew this guy and had hooked up with him as well.
The guy Brittany was with?
Yes, if you could find his name, because I can't remember it.
I know, and I can't find it.
That's all right. We'll just call him that guy. Who cares?
That guy. I feel like it's something with a J.
Julian.
Julian,
that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, yeah, Julian. So Lala had been with him, and at the time that this was going on, it's not that Lala and Brittany weren't friends, because they were. It's just that this happened last summer when Lala was very pregnant, so she wasn't.
She was dating this guy or seeing this guy or talking to this guy while she was very pregnant?
No. That's when Brittany slept with this guy, Julian. So Lala had been with Julian prior, probably soon after her and her ex. I don't know when the timeline was, but it was way before Brittany. There was no overlap. But what she had, she's like, had I known, I would have given you the warning, the red flag warning, but she didn't know.
What about him? That he's not a good guy, or?
Well, yeah, that he's not a good guy. They had all known him as a single dad, and come to find out, he lives with the girlfriend and the kid. It wasn't the story that he was really, portraying.
I'm sure if he was seeing Lala and then shortly thereafter seeing Brittany, this guy has sights on being on a reality TV show.
It could be, but I don't know that we're going to see him on the show. I don't think
I don't. I doubt we are, but I'm sure that was his aspiration.
Yes,
courting these two.
It probably was. Also, Brittany's point about him was it was the first time someone really made her feel special and wanted and pretty, because Jax was always, putting her down and yelling at her. And
when Kristen said, "I've heard you call her fat," because he's like, "I never called her fat." Mm-hmm. Kristen's like, "I've heard you call her fat."
Right. I've seen it in text.
You.
Right. He's put it in writing. Right.
He is, listen, I know there's a lot of Watch What Happens Live polls, and there is no doubt why Jesse and Jax are friends. I mean, Jesse is just as much of a piece of shit, but Jax, he is just, I mean, we'll get there, but in the last episode, him rage texting her from rehab, what facility is he in that he even has access to his cell phones? Because I know numerous amount of people who have gone to different types of facilities. Not one of them have ever had access to their cell phones. That's a bunch of bullshit.
I think that because I don't know, what he was saying is the California law, they can't take it away from you. He doesn't have it in therapy, but then he gets it back in between sessions. I mean, he was able to leave. I mean, he was, paying
He was
out of
going to the
pocket.
gym or something, right?
Yeah, and he would have like a nurse go with him to the gym. Like he was paying out of pocket. Like I think they said it, $30,000 for the month, and he didn't even stay. And he could check himself in and check himself out, which is
Wow.
what he did.
Yep.
So it's not like it was court ordered. It's not like, like he paid to go there. If he doesn't want to stay, then he doesn't stay,
Right.
You
Right.
can't force somebody to get better, you just can't.
No.
You can't. But,
No.
People did bring this up, and I guess, I don't know. I wish someone had brought it up to Brittany, like just block his number. Just
Absolutely.
block his
But you
number.
know what? I mean, look at how he's playing victim anyway. Like we said, for better or for worse, like I'm at my worst. Where are you? Like our son, our son, our son. Like she's put your son first since day one.
Yes.
But I mean, he's just a manipulative fuck. And Jesse is just as badly. It's funny because I listened to, Teddy and Tamra, recap this show. Teddy's friends with Jesse. I don't know if they were friends prior to him being on this show or what, but they always talk like negatively about Michelle. And okay, she doesn't set the room on fire with her personality when she walks in, but she's obviously a caring person.
Yeah,
and a nice person.
I honestly, I didn't pick that up, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, they say negative things about her, how boring she is, and, resting bitch face. And if you were I loved what Janet said to him in the last episode. Like, if I were married to you, I would have cheated on you too.
Yeah.
And I do not condone cheating, but that piece of shit deserves to be cheated on.
He does. He really does. I mean,
Terrible.
The fact that he said he made up the lie about her sleeping with a billionaire for $1,500 a night. Like he knew that he made that up. He knew it wasn't true.
And you say that about the mother of your daughter?
Yeah. It's like, and he even said like, whatever I need to do to make her miserable. Like,
exactly.
I mean, who says that? Who
Right.
says that about another human being? Okay. Maybe you think it, but who says that on national TV?
That's it. Like, listen, I have a very, very good friend who went through a long divorce, unfortunately. And it was not amicable. It wasn't pretty. But these people are on national television. They're public figures with social media accounts that tens of thousands of people follow, or maybe hundreds of thousands of people follow. I don't know. But
right.
The whole world is seeing this. Like, it's different for people who aren't in the public eye.
Yeah.
And that's bad enough, especially on the kids. Like, your little girl is going to see one day that you lied and said her mother slept with a billionaire for $1,500 a night. And by the way, if he's a fucking billionaire, I would hope that he would be paying more than $1,500 a night.
Yeah. No,
the room they're staying in is worth more than $1,500 a night.
I would definitely think so. I will say this, and it's just very surprising to me. I think he is very sweet to his daughter. I like the way he interacts with her.
Absolutely. I mean, let's not forget there's cameras around, because he's clearly a different person when the cameras aren't up. He has to be. I mean, there's hatred there for a reason, but he does seem very sweet with his daughter. But what reason would he have not to be?
Yeah, but I mean, when you see Cruz interact with Zach as opposed to his reaction to Jax, like you can see that it's not the same. Now, we haven't seen Isabella react to another man yet, right?
I want to say that the difference is probably that Jesse's not a physical person. It's probably an I don't want to use the word abuser, but like an emotionally manipulative person.
Right.
Whereas I think Jax gets physical, and I'm sure that little boy has seen Jax get physical with his mother, whether it be throwing things at her, maybe not him physically putting his hands on her, but I'm sure he's seen Jax get angry and physical, and that little boy got very scared.
Yeah, I think that you're
right. I don't think it would be very hard for Brittany to get full custody of that little boy.
Yeah. Listen, just listen. That's what I hope. I hope that she gets full custody of Cruz and that,
He gets
if he's,
supervised visitation.
yes, if he's well enough to visit and somebody's there supervising, then, he can visit. But the fact that he, doesn't take anything serious, he plays victim every chance he gets, like he doesn't own his part in anything.
No, and he said he had FOMO of being with his son. No, you didn't. You had
No.
FOMO of shooting your show, filming your show, because
Yeah.
the one text he sent to her was, "You got me fired from my job I've worked so hard for."
Yes. Yes, exactly.
If
Exactly.
you
Like,
got fired from your job, bro, that's on you.
that's on you. Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen, I've never been a Jax fan,
Mm-mm.
and to see the way he treats Brittany of all people and that she keeps allowing it, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart for her.
Because the unfortunate thing is that, like Brittany and Michelle, they're both stuck with these guys because they're co-parenting and they're co-parenting little kids. They have a long road. Isabella's what, 5?
I think so, 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. So she's got it, and it's not like when they turn 18, you're done co-parenting. You're never done co-parenting. I mean, when they get married and have their own children, sure, but
Right. Yeah, they're a
you're
long
still
way away.
involved in decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse is no prize.
Mm.
Janet and Jason. So, like last season, granted Janet was pregnant. I was not a fan of Janet last season.
Not at all.
She was a big pot stirrer, very much like Jax. Obviously not to that extent. And I guess this season she's postpartum. I'm not a huge fan of her now either, to be quite honest with
She's
you.
not bothering me as much this season as she did last season. I mean, basically her and Zach,
Have their falling out.
still have their beef.
Right.
They seem to have reconciled last season, but then he said that he hoped her pregnancy didn't go full term. I would be very upset also. It was on camera, but so he's angry at Brittany for bringing it up, but it was on camera. Like we physically saw him say it. So even if Brittany didn't tell Janet, Janet was going to see it. And if Brittany didn't tell Janet, Janet would have been like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
We didn't see it though until
No,
this season.
but now we saw it.
Yeah.
So production had it,
Right.
and they weren't going to let it. They weren't going to throw it out. So his getting upset with Brittany, it's like she had to cover her ass. Janet was going to know either way that he
And
said
she
that.
had her own shit she was worrying about at that time.
Yeah.
She was trying to hold her own shit together with Jax.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think he's gotten past that. I'm glad that they had their talk, that they sat down and had their talk. And I'm glad that him and Janet, had their talk and they agreed to move forward. I do think it's a little odd, though, where in like the confessionals, Zach says, Janet and I were really close. And then Janet says, Zach and I were never really close. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, which was
It is
it?
interesting to me. I feel like they were very close at the beginning of last season. And then what happened was Kristen said that Janet said that Michelle was, a racist or whatever she said, and that she heard it from Zach. And that's where everything fell apart. I do
Right.
think they were close, though.
Yeah, no, I do too.
I don't think Janet's acknowledging the closeness of the friendship.
Right. And, Jason, listen, I think he did a great job getting Jax to his rehab center.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been better if he took the phone with him once he dropped him off. But I don't like that Jason doesn't stand up to Janet.
No, Jason's not standing up to Janet.
I don't like that.
Nope.
I don't like that.
Nope.
And not that he needs to stand up to her, but he needs to.
He needs to have his own opinion. I mean, you
Yes.
can't always fall in line. I feel like I've been saying this a lot about falling in line because I was out at a function and we were talking about a couple where the husband always falls in line. And I said to the woman I was with, Eric never falls in line, ever, for crying out loud. Like, throw me a bone once in a while. But once in a while, you can't fall in line all the time.
Right.
You have to have your own opinion. You can't always agree with your wife 100% of the time.
We don't really know like what Jason's stand is on anything.
Anything.
Right?
Nothing.
That I don't like.
Me neither.
I don't like that.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think this show's coming back after this season.
Really?
I really don't.
That's interesting. Okay.
We'll see.
I guess we'll have to see. Listen, Bravo did announce that they're going to be another Valley, but a Persian version, right? With the
That's
Shahs.
exciting.
Now that is exciting.
That's with Reza, Gigi, and MJ.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm here for
love
it.
that Gigi and MJ have reconciled. Or no, I'm sorry, MJ
Reza.
and Reza have reconciled. I think it's going to be so good.
I'm looking forward to that.
We get to see them as moms. You know, I don't know what Reza's plans are for parenthood, if he even has any plans, but we'll see that unfold. Like, this is what we want to see. They ran amok when the show was first on.
Yes.
So now let's see the second chapter.
Yes, I would definitely like to see this. So maybe this is going to fall to the wayside. We'll have to wait and see, you know?
Just feel like it's like the same thing over again. I don't think there's anyone out there who wants to see Jax on TV anymore. How could you?
No.
I don't know.
But maybe that's it. Maybe it comes back without Jax.
I mean, listen, I would love that. I would love that. He got fired from Vanderpump. Fire him from this.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Kristen is having the baby with Luke. I mean, they're getting married. So there's that whole storyline there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, Lala and Sheena are in the Valley. Sheena says that she has done a lot of filming for the Valley. She doesn't obviously know what's going to be shown. Lala admitted that she didn't film as much because at the time she was very pregnant. You know, we'll have to see. Like maybe it's only, what episode are we on? 4? It's only episode 4.
Yeah. Episode 4 was the last one.
Yeah, so there's still time. You know, there's still time to kind of turn it around, I think.
I just hope that if Lala does join the show, and we called it, we knew as soon as Sheena and Lala moved to the Valley, they were going to be on it. I hope Randall signs off for Ocean to film, because that would be really difficult for Lala to film with Sosa and not Ocean.
Yeah.
Not that they're with their kids a lot. I guess they're really not. I mean, we haven't even seen.
Not.
Oh no, we did see Janet and Jason's kid briefly.
Yeah, but
right,
I
crawling
think
on
that.
the floor.
Yeah, I think that they could. I think she could still film. Yeah. And honestly, I don't know if she wants to film with Ocean. To be honest with you, yeah, or Sosa. I don't know that I would want to. I mean, especially. Did you see she just came out with the PETA commercial?
No.
She just came out with, it's for PETA, and it's she's supporting like anti-SeaWorld and what they do with the whales, and she's swimming in the water. It's a beautiful.
She's the one that went after Rachel Fuda for bringing her kids there.
Well,
isn't
she explained to Rachel about what they do, and Rachel was very apologetic, and she had no idea.
I know, but you know what? She kind of mom shamed her, and that was a little messed up.
She did do that, but she's very passionate about the animals.
I cannot deny. Listen, I picture Rachel like part of my family for some reason. I will fight for her. I will fight for Rachel Fuda.
See that. I see that. But she did talk about it on the podcast. Like she did like online when she posted pictures that she was there with her kids. You know, Lala's like, how could you do this? And then I guess they DM'd each other or whatever. She like educated her on, listen, I didn't know about it either. I'd been to SeaWorld myself.
And quite honestly, in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe we should do a podcast on this. Like maybe we should look into this.
Yeah, we should. We absolutely should.
I think we send Lori on a deep dive of SeaWorld.
Yeah, because even in the quick little commercial I saw that, you know, Lala did, she talks about how many millions of miles a day that these orcas swim in the pods, and then they rip them from these pods and they put them in these pools and they're stuck there for the rest of their lives.
Oh God, and they can't even barely move around.
Yes, like it's horrible. And she's like crying in the commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yes. That's why she was, you know, she wanted to get the word out there.
I'm happy for her for getting her commercial. Did you watch What Happens Live with Michelle and Zach?
I did not.
After the Valley episode 4.
Okay, no, I did not.
So Sheena must be having a birthday. No, well, Sheena is having a birthday party because actually I heard Heather McDonald talk about it today.
Yes, she's turning 40, right?
Yeah. And Zach's not invited because he had a falling out. He and Sheena are not on good terms right now. but they ebbs and flows with their friendship. But Michelle was going, and Andy was like, I kind of want to know where this party is. Like, I could totally see Andy rolling up on this party. Why wouldn't you? A Sheena Shea party, I would imagine, is a really good party.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, now that you just brought up Sheena, I don't know, who did she have on the other day? Was it Kristen?
I really have to
I don't
start listening to her, especially now that the Valley's on.
She broke down and she really started crying, and she started talking about like what a hard year she had last year. Sheena did, yeah. Her mental state, she was in a very bad place, and I cannot remember who she had on with her, but she
Is
was
it
very
because the
vulnerable.
Vanderpump got canceled?
No, it was
Okay.
just a combination of things like, the medication, she had stopped her medication or she had changed her medication, and
Okay. Well,
like
that
that's
happens. Yeah.
and she's talked about her postpartum OCD, and she had OCD prior to that, and the
Yeah.
intrusive thoughts that she has, and
Yeah. That's
you know
scary.
she, she was in a place where she went out to dinner with, I cannot remember who it was with. This is so bad. She went out to dinner with another couple, and she was saying like it was really good that her and Brock could talk because this other couple had just had a child as well.
It wasn't Janet and Jason, was it?
It very well could have been because I just
Okay.
can't
I'm
remember.
just
But
thinking
anyway,
that they just had a baby,
yeah, it could have been, and it was, yeah, maybe it was Janet that was on the podcast with her and not Kristen. Maybe it was Janet. Yeah, I think it was Janet now that you just said that. And it was good for her to have somebody to talk to, 'cause a little while prior to them going out, she had been in bed and she'd been having a hard time. When you fall into depression, sometimes you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to get out of bed,
for
right?
sure.
I mean, we know people who struggle with depression and anxiety, and sometimes they don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah. They
And
can't function.
right. And she was in that spot. And Brock had said to her, it was like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. There's no reason you need to still be in bed. And she she got up and she apologized. But when she went out to dinner, she like explained it to them. Like, I was in the middle of depression, and obviously he felt horrible because he's so supportive and he's such a great husband, but he didn't know it and he didn't understand it. And because she didn't verbalize it,
Right.
and she wants to now bring light to this. And I think that she should. I think that this is a great topic because there's a lot of people that suffer from depression, and they suffer silently. And
Especially postpartum.
this isn't even
I know
postpartum
it's
anymore.
not
Yeah.
anymore because some are so old,
Right. But still.
It could have been, prompted by that, and then well, she had it prior, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
But still, just the fact that she's talking about it and so
Mhm.
open, someone with all of her resources and, in the public eye, like you think that they would have it all together. So the fact that she can admit that, this is something that she's been struggling with and she's been having a hard time,
Right.
it makes other people think like, I'm not the only one. Like I can, go talk to somebody too.
Right.
So, I think that hopefully we do see her in the Valley because I really think she has a lot to offer. I do.
I agree. Well, so let's get to episode 4. So basically, the funny thing is to me, so now, we know about this rumor, right? That Jesse started, well, in the boys chat, this boys
The
chat. And
stupid boys
yeah,
chat. Yeah.
whatever. And then Danny repeated it, and now he looks like a big asshole. Whatever. The more Jesse tries to paint Michelle in a bad light, the more I dislike Jesse. Like, honestly, he's going to great lengths, like talking about her cheating and she had a boyfriend, and you are a douchebag and probably were your entire marriage. So nobody blames her for cheating on you. And who cares? You're getting divorced. If she had a boyfriend, if she didn't have a boyfriend, who cares? You're getting divorced.
I think with Jesse, this is my thought. I think Jesse is genuinely hurt that she left him because he said he didn't want the divorce.
I think
He
his
wa-
ego's bruised.
I think he really did love her. I think he did love her. You think it's just his ego?
I do. I think he's a big fat narcissist. Not fat in the physical sense.
No,
I'm sorry.
I know
A
what you
big
meant.
narcissist. Sorry. I do that a lot. I'm sorry. I just think he's a big, giant narcissist, and his ego is bruised that she would not want to be with him. And everybody should want to be with him. Because
Well,
look at him in his pink satin pants. I can't
don't
get
know.
past the pink satin pants.
I don't know how they're surviving because he's saying he's paying for everything and she's saying he's not paying for anything. People are talking that, they're both realtors and that nobody's really selling. So I wonder what the real story is there. What's the real truth that's
So
going
she
on with
told
that?
Andy, because Andy said it. He said that you haven't. What do you make of Jesse saying that you haven't made a commission in 2 years? And she was like, I have. And how are you? And basically Jesse's like implying like how's she paying her bills? She's
Right,
like, I have made commissions in the past 2 years. That's a complete lie. And she said, and I get paid from the show.
right, right,
Like, what does he think? People are stupid? Like, obviously she gets paid for the show.
right.
I don't
As
know
does
how
he.
much. I mean, I can't
I
be.
mean, they probably make the same.
I know. Well, I'm sure they make the same. There's no way anyone on that show is making any more than anyone else. And I think that's including Jax.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
certainly hope so.
So they're all going to Santa Barbara, which is the trip Jesse planned, and Michelle tried to boot him out and into a hotel. And I didn't
Yes.
agree with that.
No,
I'm
no.
glad that that didn't happen. It is his trip. Like, just don't go, Michelle. Just don't
Right,
go.
right.
She probably shouldn't have gone, but then she wouldn't have gotten paid for that episode. So Jasmine brings a little paper Benji for Zach.
Yes, that's right.
Are they
What?
still broken up or are they back together?
I mean, last I heard, like, he's in Canada, right? Like, he went back to Canada because he was afraid he was going to get deported to Canada.
Yes.
So he's in Canada. So I guess
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just a long distance thing.
I guess so.
Yeah. So they get to the house and Jesse, because at first I'm like, what the hell? Jesse announces that he's pretty buzzed because he drank 2 bottles of Prosecco and now they're going to go race cars. And I thought,
Yes.
well, that's a little dangerous.
I thought the same thing.
But then we find out it's remote control cars. And Jesse walks up shirtless. And how cringy was that?
It was cringy. I'll be
It
honest
was
with you.
so cringy.
I honestly thought all the outfits were cringy, especially considering
100%.
it was remote control cars.
I don't think the rest of them knew that, though. Do you think they knew?
I mean, I don't know. You get a call sheet. Like, I don't know.
That's true. You can go on your phone and see what kind of car racing this is. But
Right.
Danny was so funny when he's like, I don't know if you know this, but I was the star in whatever movie it was.
Yeah.
And it was a
Yeah.
spoof on Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
Now I kind of want to watch it. So then, of course, when they get there, Jack starts rage texting Brittany. And not only Brittany, then he starts texting Kristen.
Yes. That's such a weird relationship, the Jax and Kristen relationship. I mean, she's the one who went over and, told him that, if you've not hit rock bottom, like Jax, I mean, Kristen slept with Jax
I know.
when he was with Stassi. And she was with Tom. I mean, it's just wait. Even Jack said it. Like, when I'm getting life advice from Kristen, it's true. Like, why is Kristen giving life advice?
That now knowing that, Jax does cocaine and has for years, and I'm sure when that happened, some kind of substance was involved.
On his part.
Pretty fucked up that Sandoval was in the other room.
Yeah.
That's balls. But I mean, clearly they're friends,
And it wasn't just once. It wasn't just once.
No, it wasn't just once.
So strange.
Yikes.
It's just so strange. And the other weird thing is that I think the whole Kristen, I think a lot of things about Kristen are strange with this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
So Ariana and Kristen are actually friends now.
Super close. Super close.
Really close. And I don't know if you know this, but Lala and Kristen kind of made up last weekend or the weekend before at a baby shower that Lala was throwing for a mutual friend of theirs.
Listen, none of these girls are stupid. If Lala wants to be on the Valley, she should probably reconcile at least with Kristen for now, get on the show, and then turn it up once you get on there.
No, I think she was genuine about it. When she was talking about it, she was genuine. She was upset with Kristen because Kristen was on a live panel and Gigi from Shaw's made some comment about Lala.
Yeah, what was that all about?
That's what she was mad about. I don't even remember what the comment was, but she felt like Kristen should have had her back.
That's right. I remember this.
And she didn't. But I don't remember specifically what the comment was. And, Lala admitted on her pod, she held this grudge for way too long. Like, it was stupid. She should have never been mad at Kristen about this.
Yeah. I remember that, and I remember agreeing with that. Like, I'm not the biggest Kristen fan, although I'm becoming one.
It's interesting, though, isn't it?
It's
like
wild.
it really is. I feel like
It's wild, but I'm here for it.
yeah.
But I remember thinking, like, I don't think that was up to Kristen to.
No, not
Like,
in
what is
that.
she gonna do? She's not gonna fight your battles for you. And it's Gigi from Shaw's. Like,
Right.
who cares?
Right. Exactly. And it was like a live show. It's not like, you know what I mean? She was on stage. Like, what was she supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was crazy. I'm trying to read my notes. I wrote so little. But so Jax is rage texting Brittany, then he starts texting Kristen, and then Jesse basically admits that because they're like, who? How does he even know like what's going on? And Jesse
told
basically
him.
admits, oh yeah, I told him we're going
Right.
away.
Right.
And Brittany's like, why would you do that? And Janet starts questioning Jesse. And Jesse, what did he say to her? You're not equipped to play this game with me. That's why I think he's such a narcissist. You're not equipped to play this game with me.
He said that?
That's what he said to Janet. He said, don't do this. And she was like, do what? He said, you are not equipped to play this game with me. Like,
I'll be honest with you. He's actually right. She's not.
He's probably right, but who says that?
I know, right?
We have to know who the Baywatch guy is that his girlfriend in the OC is also dating. It has to be that David Charvet or Charvet, whatever his name is.
You think so? Why can't it be
Not
Zac
David Hasselhoff.
Why can't it be Zac? Why can't it be the Baywatch movie? Why can't it be Zac Efron? I mean, they're young.
I don't think it's Zac Efron.
They keep talking about it like it's the Baywatch TV show. I think they're too young for that. There was a Baywatch movie.
You're right.
Like,
I think you could be right. When I listen to 2Ts, so Tamara knows this girl.
Right.
Because she lives in OC. And she's been approached, supposedly, numerous times to be on Real Housewives of OC, and she wants nothing to do with it. She's like a socialite. Like, she doesn't need the money. She doesn't want the fame. So she's been approached a couple of times. So Jesse approaches Janet and says, why did you tell people to block my girlfriend? And she's like, I didn't tell people to block your girlfriend. And Jason did say, well, you told me to.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's different. Like,
yes,
tell your husband, two different things.
Right.
And I don't blame her for her response. Like, she was sending threatening messages to Michelle.
Right.
Threatening to sue her.
Right. I'm going to
saying something that's true.
Right. I'm going to send cease and desist to everyone on the cast.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. So I don't blame her.
I don't think he's seeing her anymore. As soon as he found that out, I think that ended, didn't it?
I don't know.
I think it did.
I don't really know. I do remember right before the show started, I think I remember seeing that he was dating someone, Michelle was dating someone, and they were both happy and things were amicable. So I'm praying that that's true. I think it's going to get real bad on the show before they get to that point. But I hope that's true, because who wants to live like that?
No, nobody. Nobody wants to live like that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants their heart broken. If he really is heartbroken, like you said, like if he really is hurt that she doesn't want to be with him, time heals all wounds. It takes time, but every day you get a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. And then eventually you have to accept it and move on.
Yeah. No, I agree. What he's doing is not going to work.
No. Zach and Janet, when they get back to the house, Zach and Janet sit down. They seem to move on. I mean, again, like Janet, I feel like Janet always throws people under the bus, though. Like, she's like, well, we did move on, but then Brittany told me that you said, like, she always has to bring somebody else into it.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm just not a huge Janet fan.
No.
I'm not. Same thing goes for like Jasmine. Like, I don't even know what Jasmine or Zach's part in this whole thing is. I mean, Zach and Jasmine are so peripheral in this whole group, right?
Totally.
I mean, Luke is more a part of it, and he's not even really a part of it.
He's really not. He's not. But he's a good addition. Like, he kind of keeps Kristen in line,
Yeah.
So they seem to move forward. We'll see if that lasts.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they got engaged. We know that, she's having his baby. So,
Kristen
well,
and Luke, yeah.
yeah. Oh, you're talking about Janet and
I'm saying
Zach. Yeah.
Zach and Janet,
Yeah.
they seem to
Yeah. We'll
move
see.
on.
Yeah. We'll
We'll
see if
see.
that lasts. We'll see if that
Then
lasts.
the spiritual guide comes and she's going to hold a healing ceremony and a gratitude circle for the group.
That always
These
goes
always
well.
go well. These always end well. Look at Sutton's circle of friendship, how well that ended
Yes. Yes.
with Garcelle quitting the show.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I think it's going to be an interesting reunion. The weird part about it is they filmed it so early because the two are pregnant. Kristen and
Wait,
Nia are
so they
pregnant.
filmed the Valley reunion already?
Yes, it's already been
We didn't
filmed.
even get a reunion last year, remember?
We did not. Yeah, no, we did not. There
So
was no
that's
reunion.
interesting.
Yeah, they wanted to get it done because they're both due about the same time. And it would be, I guess they were afraid that they would, not be able to film. So they did it early. So they must have they must have given them the whole season to watch because you can't film a reunion unless you've seen everything, right?
Yeah. So you have the seating chart for that?
Yeah. So in the
What is it?
first seat, Brittany is on one side and Jax is on the other.
Jax is there.
Jax is there. Next to Brittany is Kristen. And next to Jax is Jesse. Next to Jesse is Michelle and then Jason. Next to Kristen is Luke and then Nia. And then next to Nia is Danny. Next to Jason is Jasmine and then Zach. And on the very end is Michelle on Brittany's side. So it's the couples that are getting along next to each other. And then the ones that are fighting are opposite each other, except Michelle and Jesse are like on opposite ends on opposite sides.
I feel like if Jesse was next to Jax, I feel like they should have put Michelle next to Brittany. Because
Yes.
we're so far, I mean, listen, we're only 4 episodes in, but so far, these are the main topics.
Yes.
Jax and Brittany's separation and Michelle and Jesse's. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season, but God, for crying out loud, give this girl a little respect.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
that's
mean, who's next to Brittany?
Brittany has Kristen, and then next to Kristen is Luke because they're
I think
together.
they could have put Michelle between Brittany and Kristen.
I think so too. And then the bottom would have been Danny because it's Nia and Danny after Luke. Like I don't think. I mean, Danny gets in trouble, but I mean, I think he moves forward from that.
Yeah, and listen, I really like Danny and Nia. Like
I do
people
too.
think they're boring or whatever. Like now you need them on the show. Danny and Nia have to stay because
They're the ones who actually have the interesting life, I think, because those twins are working every day. Like she's on set with them or he's on set with those twins.
really?
Though yeah, because twins are a commodity in Hollywood. They need twins, especially baby twins like that. Like they're
Yeah.
on set of things every day. Like if you follow them on social media,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that, that's the kind of stuff that people would like to see.
Yeah, I think so. God, stay close to those babies though.
Yes,
Those
definitely.
sets you're bringing them on, stay close
Yes.
to them.
Well, they know. I mean, Danny
I'm
was
sure
there.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the seating arrangement. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens. We'll recap it again after another couple episodes, and we'll see what we think and where we're at with our predictions. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, we'll go into Summerhouse. We probably
Okay.
don't have to recap the whole show, but we'll just do
No.
like a little.
Yeah, that's fine.
But real quick, what is okay? So the new show coming out, Wife Swap,
Yes.
and word on the street is that it's Melissa Gorgon, Emily Simpson. And I
Yes.
commented on Facebook today, please, Bravo gods, if you're listening, please bring Emily Simpson to the Jersey Shore this summer. Like if we could have Emily Simpson, we live a town away from the Gorga's shore house. And I told Joe Gorga to his face, your shore house is, I think, my favorite house on the Housewives. I mean, Beverly Hills homes aside.
But
I love their shore house, the location, they're on the bay. You see the Seaside Bridge. It's just amazing. Please bring Emily Simpson to the Jersey Shore.
I wonder if they filmed it already.
I don't know. I'm
But you know
trying
what?
to manifest.
I don't think they could have because the OC just finished. They just
That is
wrapped.
true. That is true. Oh my
So
God. See,
you
we're
could,
going to have to go. We're going to have to start hunting.
We're going to have to go housewife hunting. That's what we do. We go housewife
This is what we
hunting.
do. And we have our North Jersey connections that can scout it out for us up there.
Yes, we're going to go housewife hunting. So, hey, listen, if our friend Miriam that we met at Heather McDonald would like to go housewife hunting with us, give us a shout out and you can come housewife hunting with us.
And my friend Karen Sciallo, who's up there, she's a realtor. She
Okay.
knows where all the places are.
All right. So we'll do some housewife hunting.
For sure.
Also, I'll tell you, I just saw today, like about an hour ago in New York City, is Dolores, Gina from the OC, Tamara from the OC. Who else is out? They're outside, like outside of Radio City Music Hall. There was like a little cafe across the street. Who else
So
was there?
Tamara said on 2Ts with Dolores, she was coming to New York for something, and Dolores is like, "I'm going to see you, right?"
Yes. So I
And she
wonder.
said, "Yeah."
Yeah, I wonder what is going on in New York City. I wonder if they're doing something.
It might just be that. Well, no, because Gina from OC's there.
Gina from
You said
OC.
who'd you say?
Dolores, Tamara, not Dorinda, Gina, and there's somebody else. I can't remember who.
Okay. And it wasn't Melissa?
It was not Melissa. Let me go. It was on IG. Let me look on Instagram and see what I can find.
What is this beef between Heather McDonald and Teresa, by the way?
I don't know. There's a beef?
Yeah, something's going on. Kelly Dodd chimed in. I got to look into this. But again, I'm going to say it again, second week in a row. There are no tree stumps defending Teresa on social media.
I wonder what that's all about.
I don't know. I mean, because it used to be you couldn't say her name without people coming at you.
Yeah, that is what it used to be.
And there's a ton of shit going around, especially with this Heather McDonald stuff. And I listened to Heather McDonald today. She hasn't mentioned it yet, but I'm still listening.
Okay. Did you see Melissa was doing I guess an IG with her sprinkle coffee cake and it fell off the cake stand?
No, I didn't see that. Did it really?
Okay, yes. Oh, here it is. Marisol.
So something's going on.
Something has to be going on. So
she's not a local.
So it's Marisol, Gina, Dolores, and
Tamara.
And behind them is Radio City. I'm looking at this post. And then they're standing in front of tables with black and white umbrellas. And it says 000 and time for happy hour. But I don't know what they're doing.
That's interesting.
I mean, if I saw it sooner, we could have taken a train to go to Radio City.
For real.
Because I know exactly where they're at.
That's great. Well, yeah, I wonder what that is. Because I was thinking if it was just, I thought you said Dorinda. I was thinking, well, if it was Dorinda, Dolores, and Tamara, they talked about it. And Tamara was coming to New York for something, and I forget. She wasn't on Watch What Happens Live.
No. And
Dolores was like, I'm going to see you, right? And they were like, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what that's all about. Very curious. Miami's coming out. We know that. Miami's coming out soon.
Yeah.
I don't know about Miami. I mean, the whole thing with Alexia and Todd, I mean, they're divorced, but they're together all the time. I think that's a little bizarre.
So word is like he just didn't want to film. Like the show was too much for him. He's done with the show. But do you get divorced over that? Like there's plenty of husbands who just don't film.
I mean,
aren't there?
Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, because Eddie doesn't really film that much, right?
Yeah.
Tamara's husband, Eddie, like how?
No, yeah, Eddie's never on it, really. Travis is barely on it.
Right. I mean,
Shane is, but don't change a thing because I love Shane. So keep Shane on it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. So Summerhouse, where are we with Summerhouse?
Okay, so Summerhouse, I mean, the last episode, we find out some stuff. And so Jesse and Lexi had a lot of conversations, including one with his sister and mother, which I do think is strange.
I think it's very strange.
It's very strange. And then the mom and sister were on as bartenders on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes.
Okay.
And they went to that. Did you hear Dolores talk about that place they went to?
That's what I was just going to say. The description of the box. Listen, it's a place I definitely want to go and check out. Not with my mom. I mean, maybe with my sister, but not with my mom.
I actually don't think I even want to go check it out.
I think I want to go check it out, but not with my mom. Not with your mom. Not with anybody's mom. Not with Lexi's mom, quite honestly. And I'm probably close to her age.
Yeah, no, that was a little weird.
That was weird.
Yes.
But I don't know. We're getting well, you wanted to say something because you said last week that your opinion on the whole Sierra thing had changed a little bit.
Yeah, because I was really upset with Sierra. I really felt like she wasn't being nice to Lexi. Not that she owed Lexi anything, because that's what people kept, coming for me saying, Sierra doesn't owe Lexi anything. No, she doesn't owe Lexi anything. But I think the way it was, listen, Sierra was not going after Jesse. Sierra was being the same person she has always been, and her relationship with Jesse didn't change because of anything she did. It was changing because of things that he did based on what he was saying that Lexi was saying, right?
Jesse's definitely the root of the problem.
Yes. So I was kind of saying that she's not being a girl's girl because I felt like she should have done something different with Jesse, but I take that back. I don't think that that's the case. I mean, I've always loved Sierra. I still loved her when I said I wasn't happy with her, but I think Jesse is the problem.
He's
Jesse's the
definitely the
problem.
root of the problem, and I still love Sierra too. I think, she's great, but my point of all of that was I think it's a double standard as to how they expected Lindsay to act, including when they first came on the show. Like, Paige was very vocal before she crawled up Lindsay's ass that Lindsay was not nice to her when she came on that show. She wasn't nice to her when she first came to the house. She like hazed her. And not that they're doing that to Lexi, but you would think that because that happened to you, you would be a little more welcoming to the new girl. But to your point, maybe they're not being that welcoming to the new girl because of what
Jesse
is saying.
Right. And I think that
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I think that Jesse is painting a different picture to them
Yes.
about her, like
I
saying
mean,
that
he's making
she's,
her look crazy.
yeah, when she's like, no, that's not what happened. No,
But I don't know if you saw Lexi on Watch What Happens Live.
I did.
So she basically said Sierra said to not mention her name, like keep your name out my mouth kind of thing. Sierra said to Lexi, keep
To
Sierra's
Lexi.
name out of Lexi's mouth. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The whole lunch thing on Lexi's birthday celebration, totally true. I mean, unless Lexi is a
No, it
big
wasn't
giant
though.
liar.
No, but I don't think it
Sierra
was
said it
true.
wasn't true, and Lexi said yes, it very well was true.
Maybe I didn't watch the whole episode.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I mean,
Sierra,
somebody's lying. But Andy did say, do you think it was a picture they took prior to that day and just maybe kind of posted it as a, maybe. And like she said, maybe, but the post was posted the day of my birthday and those two did not respond. Everybody from the house did not go, but everybody else from the house minus Sierra and Jesse at least responded. They didn't even respond and then they posted the picture or Jesse posted the picture. So it's a little messed up. And then Sierra's telling her to keep her name out of her mouth.
well, listen, I mean, I can see why Sierra would say that because every time Lexi mentions Sierra's name, it's not in a good light, right? Based on what
Well,
has she
I
ever
mean,
said anything?
I don't think she's saying anything negative. I mean, I think that Lexi's definitely blaming Jesse for all of this. I don't think she's putting any kind of blame on Sierra. I really don't. I
I
think
think she's blaming Sierra, but because of the way Jesse behaved, Sierra got like thrown in the middle of it. And Sierra's just saying, don't mention my name. I don't
and
want you
I'll be
saying my
honest
name.
with you. After watching this last episode, when they were at that dinner and West was talking about losing his friend and where he was last year,
Yes.
it's very clear that Sierra is not over him.
No, I
To
mean,
me, it's very, very clear.
and Dolores was talking about that because Dolores is very close with Sierra from doing traders with her. And she was saying, and I do think that this is true. Sierra loves very hard, but when she's done with you, she's done. But she's not, because even when she came back to the house this year, she said, like, even after they had that little talk, like she still wanted him. She said it. She admitted it. Those words came out of her mouth,
Yeah.
but she's fighting it because he hurt her and she doesn't want to get hurt again. And to hear him
Yeah.
talk about that night And for her to bring her back to that spot when she said she was cradling him, he was crying in her arms. Of course that's gonna,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I feel for her. That's a tough spot.
But did you hear Lexi say on Watch What Happens Live that Jesse said that, Wes got all this fame because of Sierra?
Yep.
So, me
I believe Jesse said that. I don't know if I believe that. I don't think that West used. I
don't think West used Sierra, but I do think that Jesse realized what
what a house
comes.
romance could bring.
Yes.
But I also think that West knew that last year too. I think that West knew that if he pursued Sierra, now listen, you'd be a fucking fool not to pursue Sierra. She's by far the most gorgeous girl on that show. I mean, Lexi is a close second. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
but
but it's not
Sierra
even
is a
that.
bombshell. But you'd be
She's
stupid not to pursue her. But if you're going to pursue a relationship in the house, you're going to get more camera time. It's just a fact.
right. And it's not, she is beautiful and that's what everyone says, but she's more than just a beautiful girl. She's a
Sure.
nurse. She's a
Oh
model.
yeah.
She is like she's the whole package.
Yeah.
She really
Yeah.
is. I don't know, I don't
I
know.
believe that Jesse said that about Wes, though. I believe that Jesse would say that about his friend. If not, Lexi is the best liar on TV because I, for some reason, believe what she's saying.
No,
Right?
I believe what she said too. I totally believe her. Listen, I don't think Jesse Solomon is who he says he is. I think that
Totally
he's a
agree with you.
poser. I think he's a complete poser.
Yep.
He's got
Totally
that
agree.
great smile and he thinks he can just charm his way into whatever it is he wants at
Yeah, like I
whatever.
was just kidding. It was just a joke. You said
Right.
that to Sierra to throw her a bone
Yeah. Yeah.
to make her not feel bad.
Right. Come on.
That's awful. It's worse than not saying anything at all.
Yep. Yeah.
Everything's like, oh, I was kidding. That was a joke.
Not a joke. You want to know what their seating chart is for the reunion?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so their seating chart is on one side of Andy, on the left of Andy is Paige. On the right of Andy is Amanda. Next to Amanda is Kyle. Next to Paige is Sierra. Next to Sierra is Carl. Across from Carl, next to Kyle, is Lindsay. Next to Lindsay is Jesse. Across from Jesse, next to Carl, is Lexi. Next to Lexi is Gabby. And then across from Gabby is West. And then the next to West is Imrul.
So none of this makes sense. The only thing that makes sense is Paige being to the left of Andy because that's where Craig sat at the Southern Charm reunion. And Paige deserves that seat because Craig had his moment at the reunion to give his side of the breakup. And let's give Paige the same respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of the rest of it makes sense. Even if so what we hear is that something else is still coming and it's going to shock everybody, blah, blah, blah. So maybe it's Amanda announcing she's pregnant. Who cares? So, okay, Amanda's got the second seat, right? But then it should be Jesse and Lexi. Jesse and Lexi should be right there because the entire season was based around Jesse and Lexi. Lindsay brought nothing. Carl brought nothing. It's just that they're the OGs, so they're putting them there. And that's bullshit.
Yeah, I wonder about these seating charts for, the Valley and for Summerhouse. I don't know if it's the same because there's couples. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different when there's couples because the Housewives, there's no couples.
Okay, but even with Summerhouse, there's one couple, Kyle and Amanda.
Well, there's one couple right now, right? But there were couples. So Sierra was with West.
Yeah, but West is all the way down the couch.
I know. Lindsay was with Carl. Jesse is across from, I think it's just a different dynamic because of the couple situation.
Yeah, I just think that Jesse and Lexi should be close to Andy because if it weren't for them, what the hell would the season have been? And okay, we're still waiting for a big surprise, but the big surprise is going to come right at the end of the season.
It could be too that, Amanda and Kyle bought a house in New Jersey and they're moving. I mean, I don't know.
Does anybody really care anymore?
No, I don't think they do. I really don't.
I honestly think that it's time for Carl, Kyle, Lindsay, Amanda, Paige to go. You can actually keep the rest of them, but they all need to go.
I don't need Gabby there.
I don't think we see enough of Gabby, but
Well, we
then
don't.
again, I don't think Gabby wants to give that much of herself. I think she's a very reserved person, and that's okay.
Well,
You're going to be Lindsay's, ride or die. Okay. But if Lindsay goes, Gabby's going to go.
right. But didn't Lindsay already announce that she's not coming back?
I think she did. It's funny though, because there were all these stories about her joining Roni, and now they're saying Roni's not even coming back.
Well, but Bravo didn't say that, and Bravo specifically said it's not been canceled. We haven't made a decision.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying about New Jersey too.
Yeah, but still, I think that's the case. I think
Yeah.
that's the case. I mean, how long did it take to get Atlanta back?
Yeah, that's true.
It took a long time to get Atlanta back.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the case. I don't listen. Bethany went on and made the announcement that Roni's canceled, and I'm like,
She
no,
did? Is that where it came from?
no, it came from.
Okay.
I mean, people were making that speculation because it wasn't announced in the announcement where they made all the announcements. Like they
Yeah.
didn't mention it. So she made that announcement as well, like she does. And, she said that, it's the end of an era and, the new Roni was nothing like the old Roni. And, but I just didn't even listen to her because I was like, this is bullshit. You can have your own opinion, but you're wrong. And I don't feel like listening to you. So I didn't listen to it. And I also didn't listen to, but I would like to know why she's moved to Florida. I heard it was because of Bryn, but I haven't heard her say that.
Me neither. I saw she moved to Miami, right?
Yes. Yes.
I
She
mean,
sold her place in Connecticut and she
how old
moved.
is Bryn?
Bryn is like 13, I think.
Kind of a difficult age to just uproot your kid, unless she homeschools. Maybe she homeschools.
Well, I don't think she does because I know that she was very involved with like volleyball and sports and stuff.
That's hard then to pull her out of that.
But no, from what I'm hearing, and again, I didn't hear it from Bethany, so I need to do a little
It was
investigating.
like Bryn's choice.
It was Bryn that wanted to go.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
Yes, that is good. But why would she want to go?
I don't know.
Unless she wanted, the only thing I can think of, unless she wanted to get away from her father. And I think that would be horrible.
Yeah, but he really proved himself during that divorce. I mean, who the hell takes 10 years to get divorced?
I know.
They're not the Kennedys, for crying out loud.
I know.
I don't know. He seems like he's a number, a real number.
He does seem like he's a number. So we talked about it. We have a wife swap coming.
I am so here for that. And allegedly, the other ones are Angie K and Wendy Osefo.
Yes.
Like all good time girls.
Yes.
The 4 of them, all good time girls. I'm so excited for that.
I totally agree. I think that this is going to be something that we need. I think
Yeah,
because
because I think Housewives is I think it's winding down.
Yeah,
I really do. Although, are you excited about Rhode Island?
I think I am.
I'm very excited about Rhode Island. They look like my people.
I didn't read anything up on them yet. Did you?
No, I just saw their pictures and I'm like, I like it.
I don't know if that's the one because I think the rumor came out about Rhode Island a while ago. And is that the one that was filmed already but was never put on Bravo? And I think it's like a recast one.
I have no idea.
All right. I think that might be the case. But next episode, we'll talk a little bit about Rhode Island. I'll do a little bit of homework and see.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can find out about the cast that we should be expecting. And if I am right about that or if I just made it up. But I think I did read something about that it was another network that it was on. I also don't know if you know this, but Nene has her YouTube channel. I think she just dropped her 3rd episode. I watched her first one. It was her and Carlos King. I did not watch her second one. Her 3rd one was her and Cynthia Bailey.
It's nice.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I like to hear that.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I hope that Cynthia said that Nene's going to come on Humble Brag also.
Good.
Have you been listening to that?
I haven't. I'm just getting caught up. Like I'm still in the middle of Heather McDonald's latest. I'm caught up with 2 T's. I didn't listen to the Mother's Day thing with Teddy.
It was
no
only
offense,
like
I'm just not really
10 minutes.
interested.
It was nothing. It wasn't that long.
Yeah.
I was surprised it was so short and they had like 3 ads in it. I'm like, how do you have this many ads in only a 10-minute show?
Exactly.
We have an hour and 15-minute show. We can't get any damn ads. What the hell are we doing?
This whole podcast is one big ad for us. You know what I think we should do? I think we should try to get on Watch What Happens Live as the bartenders.
Okay, great. But how do we do that?
I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know.
Andy, can you let us come on Watch What Happens Live, please?
Hit us up, Andy.
Please, we need some exposure. We want people to watch us. We'd like to get some
Yeah.
sponsors.
We have so much fun doing this.
We do. We really do.
Even though people call us old hags and fat.
Ever. Who cares?
I've learned not to.
No, we don't care.
Nope.
All right. I think we're good for this episode. So
This was a
next
long one.
time, it was a long. Next time, we're going to talk a little bit about, I'll find out what I can find out about Rhode Island. We still need to recap Atlanta and Love Hotel. So stay tuned. Those will be coming shortly this week. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.